Hey guys, Phil here with another episode of What Happened. That's the show where I talk about stuff that happened. And so the first thing that happened recently is that I got these copies of Genki Integrated Course in Elementary Japanese, which I've been meaning to pick these up for a long time. So far I've just been learning off of apps and such. And this is the first edition instead of the second edition, but that made it a little bit cheaper. And I'm sure the information is just as good. And I also picked up the workbook for it. And I got these both used from Amazon. And the problem that I had with this was that it looked good at first, but then when I looked on the edge, I could see that there were some pages missing. And actually, in the beginning, there's a whole group of like 20 pages missing from the very beginning. But the seller was really nice about that, said they didn't realize, and sent me a complete refund, which is about $10. So that was pretty good. Next cool thing I got was this kind of like a GorillaPod, though not the actual brand name GorillaPod. But, you know, GorillaPods at Best Buy or other big box stores might go for $20. And this was $3. I think it was $3.30 actually. But these are great if you're outside. You can just wrap it around a pole or a branch or something and then stick your camera on top and then you're good to go. And it actually came with an attachment for my cell phone to attach it to there or attach it to any tripod, which is currently attached to my tripod. So moving on to other news, there's a report in IGN, which actually came from The Economist, that ranked Tokyo as the safest city in the world. And that is out of not just personal safety, but also the infrastructure and the health and also digital security. I thought that was pretty interesting. I mean, I knew Tokyo and Japan and on the whole were safe, but I didn't know they were that safe. And of course, Tokyo is also the most populated city in the world. So that's something to think about for other countries. Next up is a series of videos, which they're on episode 3 right now, but there are going to be 4 videos called Henna Gaijin. And these are very well produced YouTube videos. But they look like they could be professional on TV. But they're all talking about different aspects of the culture of Japan. And I'm really hoping that they make more than 4 because it's really good stuff. And you should check out the link in the description below. They're really good entertainment. Next up, how would you like to live underwater? I know it sounds crazy, but there's a civil engineering firm in Japan who wants to build an underwater city. Okay, this would be a sphere, and it would be just underneath of the surface of the water. And then underneath of that is a spiral that goes all the way down to the sea floor. And so the sphere is 546 yards in diameter, and it has, like, you know, housing, restaurants, businesses. And the spiral would go down and allow the scientists, you know, to get resources to help live off of. And this sounds crazy, but apparently they think it would take about 5 years to build this thing, which seems awfully small to me. Apparently they don't actually have the technology needed to build it. So they think that it'll take about 15 years until we will have this technology. I don't know. We'll see about that. It would be really cool. Scary, but cool. Okay, so I just got an email saying that I had sold some of my 3D printed models from Shapeways. Actually, one of these as well as another one, which I don't think I've even had printed yet. But now a company from China is doing... Yeah, I think these are cool. A company from China is 3D printing residences now, buildings. And they claim that they had printed 10 houses in 24 hours. I don't know if that's true or not, but it is pretty impressive if it is. Even more so than that, they've now printed an apartment building. And it's a 5-story building. And also a 1,100 square meter villa. complete with decorative elements inside and out. So that is very interesting. I'm always into 3D printed stuff. I would love to have one myself, but they're just too expensive. The last bit of news for this video is about an art exhibit in Tokyo, which is now completed, so it's no longer there. But it's all about things that are taboo, that people in Japan just generally don't talk about, although some of these things you probably should talk about. For example, one of the main exhibits, or main art pieces in the exhibit, is a statue of a young woman that is representative of comfort women who, during World War II and shortly before World War II, were women who were kind of forced to work in brothels for the troops. And yeah, so they generally, it's a big topic of discussion that some people just don't like to talk about at all. But yeah, that's one thing that you should talk about. And there's it's a long article in the Tokyo Times that I will link to in the description below. But yeah, these are some interesting topics here. So that's the end of this episode. If you'd like to read the articles I'm talking about, they're all linked in the description below. And of course, everything is in my Flipboard, which I'm viewing on my phone. So if you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up and a like and a comment. And I'll see you next time.